This is not a video about how to fix relationships. This is something far more uncomfortable. This is for those of you who have experienced something you couldn't quite explain. Not open hostility, not direct conflict, but something quieter, something colder, a subtle resistance, a hidden obstruction, a strange shift in behavior, especially from the people closest to you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed someone who said nothing when you were struggling, but suddenly had opinions when you started succeeding? Someone who sounded supportive, but somehow left you feeling smaller, slower, less certain? Someone who didn't attack you directly, but made your path harder. If that resonates, then this lecture is for you. The first warning: this is not about bad people. Before we go any further, you need to hear something critical. This is not a morality story. This is not about villains and victims. This is about structure. Ancient Tibetan texts once described a profound psychological truth. Even after death, humans wander lost inside illusions they created themselves. Translated into modern psychology, this means people are not destroyed by external enemies. They are undone by their own perceptions, their distortions, attachments, and internal narratives. So let's reframe your experience. What if the problem is not just who is hurting you, but how human beings are wired to interpret each other? The real shift from emotion to structure. Most people ask, why is this person doing this to me? But that question keeps you trapped. The better question is, what system produces this behavior over and over again? Because if you don't understand the system, you won't just meet one such person. You will meet them repeatedly, in different forms, in different places, throughout your life. How common are these people, really? Now we move into dangerous territory, because the question everyone wants answered is, how many people are like this? We cannot give exact numbers, but based on psychological and sociological research, we can model the structure. First, understand this clearly. Envy is universal. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, envy had survival value. Competing for resources, competing for status, competing for relationships. Envy was a signal, a warning, a motivator. But here's where everything diverges. It's not envy that matters, it's how people process it. 3 types of envy, the hidden human spectrum. Human beings tend to fall into 3 broad categories. 1. Constructive envy. 40%. I want to become like that. This type transforms comparison into growth. 2. Destructive envy. 30%. If I can't rise, I'll pull them down. This is where obstruction, criticism, and subtle sabotage emerge. 3. Passive comparison. 50%. They feel envy, but take no action. Now here's the key insight. Roughly 20–30% of people are capable of active interference. Not always obvious, not always aggressive, but present, consistently. Cultural variation. Korea versus the West. Let's go deeper, because environment shapes expression. Korean society, high comparison structure. Dense social networks. Overlapping identities, school, family, region. Strong collective hierarchy. Result: destructive envy, 25–35%. Active interference, 15–25%. Why? Because success is not individual, it reshapes the group. Your rise changes relative positions. Western society's individualized competition. Higher individual autonomy. Diverse success pathways. Greater geographic and social mobility. Result: destructive envy, 15–25%. Active interference, 10–15%. But don't misunderstand this. The structure changes, but the mechanism does not disappear. In high competition environments, corporations, politics, academia, the same behaviors reappear. Anywhere, everywhere. The distribution of people around you. Let's make this brutally practical. In a group of 10 people, 2–3 will actively interfere. 3–4 will feel envy silently. 2–3 will remain neutral. 1–2 will genuinely support you. That's reality. Not pessimism, not cynicism. Structure. Why these people exist. Childhood and adaptation. Now we go deeper into formation. Because personality is not random, it is an adaptation strategy. People are not born this way. They are shaped. 1. Vulnerable narcissism, formed through conditional love. You are valued only if you succeed. Constant comparison. Emotional invalidation. Result: fragile self-worth. Others' success, personal threat. 2. Passive-aggressive personality, formed through authoritarian households. Punishment for direct expression. Double-bind communication. Be honest, then punished for honesty. Result: indirect hostility. Hidden resistance. Strategic non-cooperation. 3. Inferiority-based aggression, rooted in ideas explored by Alfred Adler, formed through repeated failure. Public humiliation. Lack of success experiences. Result: if I can't rise, I'll reduce others. Do they ever change? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Most do not, because personality is not just behavior. It is a neural pattern, reinforced over years, automated over decades. Why change is rare. 1. Lack of self-awareness. 2. Strong psychological defenses. 3. Reinforced success of manipulation. In many cases, their strategy works, and what works stays. When change is possible, only under extreme conditions. Major life collapse. Genuine self-awareness. New relational environments. Long-term reflection. Probability? Low. How their lives evolve over time. 20s, 30s, competition-driven relationships. Friends rivals. 40s, 50s, relationship contraction. Capable people distance themselves. 60, isolation or distorted echo chambers. The law of relational filtering. Over time, people are left with those who resemble them. Growth-oriented people connect with growth. Disruptive individuals cluster together, the most dangerous type. Not the obvious enemy, not the open critic, but this, the one who appears to help but holds you back. They offer advice, share partial information, stay close, but over time, you don't move forward. The critical question: ask yourself, do I grow around this person or do I stall? This single question reveals almost everything. The final shift. At this point, most people make a fatal mistake. I understand now, so I can fix them. No, that's the trap. As another ancient insight warns, the moment you cling, you are pulled back into the same world. Trying to change them locks you into the same structure. What this lecture was really about: not identifying enemies, not blaming individuals, but understanding this: these people are not exceptions. They are part of the human distribution. And the most important sentence of this entire lecture: you are not being blocked by people. You are being shaped by how you respond to them. The moment you understand this, everything changes. Your emotions, your decisions, your relationships, your trajectory. Next step teaser for part 5. In the next lecture, we will go further. The worst mistakes you can make. Why confrontation often backfires. How to win without cutting people off. Tactical strategies for work, family, and social environments. Because understanding is only step 1. Strategy is what changes outcomes. If this perspective clarified something you've been struggling to explain, share it. Because the difference between those who understand structure and those who don't is not small. It is life-defining, and you are standing exactly at that dividing line. I'll see you in the next lecture.